Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. I'm Eduardo Quay. Chilling news came from Yemen recently. An 8-year-old girl by the name of Raman reportedly died from internal bleeding. The alleged reason? Side effects after sexual intercourse with her 40-year-old husband on the night of their wedding. Since then, there have been conflicting reports about what really happened, with local authorities denying the story. But it did cast the spotlight on the issue of child weddings, which are legal in Yemen. I am happy to welcome today one of the key opponents of the practice, Yemen's Minister for Human Rights, Hooria Mashhour, who joins us from Geneva. Good evening. Thank you very much for being with us today. Is the story of Raman true? Did she die after having sexual relations with her 40-year-old husband?
Good evening. We have heard that news and read that news in the newspaper, in the websites. And after hearing that, I sent a letter to the Minister of Interior, asked about the story. And also we have a human rights coordinator in Hajjah, in Harad, in the same area where that story, alleged story happening. I got a reply from the Ministry of Interior that the story is not true. That news, it comes from the person in charge for the Ministry of Interior in Harad, denied the story. The governor and the Ministry of Interior representative in Harad denied the story. But anyway, I sent another letter to the Attorney General, asked for advanced investigation on that. But regardless, if this story true or untrue, we are going to go forward. We are going to go on with the for fixing the minimum age of marriage in the law, in the personal status.
Right. Let me interrupt you for a minute, if I might, because even if this particular story is not true, are you aware of similar cases where 8-year-old girls are forced into marriage and to have sex with men who are much older than they are? Is that a common practice?
We don't have legal age of marriage in the law. That is happening widely, especially in the rural areas. I can imagine that. Many cases are there, but also many cases it's not reported. Since they are not hospitalized, they were not sent to the hospitals or to the clinic. Because these services, health services, it is not widespread in the rural areas, and many times, like this stories is happening in the rural areas, in the far areas,
right,
where there is no media coverage, there is no health services, it is not reported, but
it is happening.
I do believe.
In the past, the Yemeni parliament has approved legislation setting the age, I believe, for girls at 15. But this legislation was later, if I'm correct, repealed, and in fact, or it was never signed because of arguments that it's contrary to Islamic law. What do you make of those arguments? And you were mentioning that you want to have a new law approved. Can you get over those hurdles?
In fact, since 2000, I was working for a long time for the Women National Committee. The Women National Committee, it is a government body affiliated to the Prime Minister Office, and our mandate is to work out the strategies and policies for women advancement. And that is one of main issues. We were struggling to fix the minimum age of marriage in the personal status law, but we face many resistance. Anyway, in 2009, there was initial approval in the parliament. They approved it to fix the minimum of marriage by 17 for both boys and girls. But then it was withdrawn from the parliament. When we asked about that, they said for more debate. Lastly, we realized that it was just to stop it from and not to enforce this article in the personal status law.
Well, what is the argument? What is the argument?
No, it doesn't has. It is not based on the Islamic values, because Islamic values don't accept harmful for the human being. But also there are some extremists. They try to interpret this based on Islamic Sharia. But we have many moderates, from the religious men, from preacher in the mosque. They are with us. They are supporting us. They advocate for this issue, and they are in favor to fix the minimum age of marriage. Yusuf al-Qaradawi from outside the Yemen, from the international community of the scholars. Also, we have many figures in the region.
So there is
in the Islamic,
There is an opposition movement that is growing in Yemen to this practice. What, in your view, why do you think that this practice is so widespread in your country and maybe in other countries as well? I'm sure Yemen is not the only one.
Yeah, traditionally, culturally, it is accepted, especially in the rural areas, and also because of poverty. When we had some studies, poverty is the main reason for early marriage. When the family is very poor and they have many children, boys and girls, they prefer to send some of the female from the house to another family.
Is that because the man pays?
That is right, because the man pay a lot of money, and this is for the poor family. It is a good amount of money. Yeah, that is one of the big reason, and mostly these men who can afford a lot of money, they are elder, and the gap in the age, it's very big between the young girl, very small, between the child, girl child, and the man. Many times it's very big gap.
Supposing that you are able to get a new law approved through Parliament, either because people are outraged by this practice or because of international pressure or both, do you think that a law can be applied, that people will comply, or will that be a very difficult thing?
Of course, we are going to face some difficulties. People will not apply the law easily, or can cheat on the age of their daughters, cannot tell the truth. If she is 80, if she is 12 or 15 years old, they can say she is 18 or 17, something like that. But anyway, we are going to conduct a campaign, awareness campaign, to show the people the importance of applying this law. We want to keep the girl as much as we could in the school. Girls schooling, girls education, it's very important, not just for the girls themselves, also for the development of the country. We want to rebuild the country with educated people, not uneducated people. It is very difficult to make any achievement or any development with the people who are lack of capacities. They don't have any skills. They are not well educated.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know if you can answer it. What is it in the Yemeni culture, and as I say, perhaps in the culture of other countries, that would make men want to have sex with girls who are 8, 9, 10 years old? Why is that? It's hard to understand that.
Yeah, some they have the idea that if he get married with a very young girl, that is good to renew his youth or something like that. It is happening somehow, but
has this always existed?
Sorry?
Has this always existed?
Some cases, yeah. In some cases, it is acceptable, especially when the man he is very rich and he can pay a lot of money. The dowry is big for the family. They accept like this man.
Okay, so are you optimistic about this battle, the international attention that this particular case with Raman has gotten? Maybe are you optimistic that some pressure will be building so that you can start to put an end to the practice?
In fact, also inside the country, we have many supporters, the human rights activists, NGOs, many NGOs, they are against these practices. But also international committee and their support, it is needed. The EU, they are supporting Yemen, especially in this issue, and also we have international NGOs, the Human Rights Council, many agencies internationally. They are supporting Yemen, supporting child rights in Yemen. That is very important.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Hooria Mashhour, the Human Rights Minister for Yemen, speaking to us about forced child marriages in her country and her battle to stop that practice. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it very much. And please stay tuned to France 24 for more news in English, in French, and in Arabic.